Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How y'all doing today? In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to absolutely love. We're gonna be talking about the biggest and the baddest Chris Paul rumors that we're hearing right now. When talking about this offseason, there are actually a lot of NBA superstars that are going to be on the trade market. And at the top of that list, Chris Paul is right there. A recent report came out that apparently Chris Paul would love to play for the city of Los Angeles again. And with that, a lot of NBA executives are saying this. They believe that LeBron James will have a big influence on bringing Chris Paul to LA. We all know about the relationship between LeBron James and Chris Paul, and from what we're hearing, the possibility of them teaming up on the Lakers, it's increasing every single day. Imagine that, guys. LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Chris Paul on one roster. They'll definitely win a back-to-back NBA championship. So for this video, I got something special for you guys. We're going to be talking about Chris Paul and a potential Lakers trade that could land him with the Lakers. I'm also going to be giving you guys a few more teams that I believe they must target Chris Paul to make them better. So in this video, it's going to be an ultimate Chris Paul trade video, all the possible scenarios surrounding him. So if you're a big Chris Paul fan, this video is absolutely perfect for you. But before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. I put up about 6 videos per week, and I guarantee you guys are gonna love all the content that are being put out. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, guys. I would really appreciate it. It would really help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's go straight into the possible and potential Chris Paul trades that could happen this offseason. Chris Paul was an absolute monster this year. After being traded from the Houston Rockets to OKC, Chris Paul led the Thunder to the NBA playoffs to an amazing Game 7 showdown with the Rockets. During the regular season, he averaged 17.6 points, 5.0 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 1.6 steals, shooting 49% at the field goal mark and 90% at the free throw line. But in the playoffs, Chris Paul went on a tear. He averaged 21.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, 5.3 assists. And with Chris Paul being 35 years old and putting up these numbers, guys, I tell you this, LeBron James is not the only person in the NBA that's old and can still dominate. But despite his success with OKC this year, Chris Paul has found his name in so many trade rumors for this specific offseason. When Chris Paul was asked about his future with OKC and also his future for his NBA career, this is what he said. I'm 35 and I just finished my 15th year. Any team that I'm on, I think we're competing for a championship. And that's the way we felt this year with OKC. We had a very special team, and that's why I was hurt and was just so mad that we lost. A very interesting fact about this quote is that Chris Paul did not say anything about him wanting to stay with OKC. In fact, after OKC lost in the playoffs, Chris Paul posted a video of him saying thank you, but I'll be honest, guys, it felt more like a goodbye. And in this video, we're going to be talking about 6 trade scenarios that I believe Chris Paul could potentially be in, and these are the best case scenarios for him. One thing's for sure though, if Chris Paul gets traded this offseason, he's going to be going to a team and probably make them a championship contender. The first team is obvious, and that's Chris Paul joining LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the Los Angeles Lakers. The rumors of Chris Paul being traded to the Lakers have been a rumor ever since 2011. Chris Paul somehow has always been linked to the Lakers, playing in the purple and gold, and in this offseason, it actually might be a big possibility. The most recent report that came out about Chris Paul being linked to the Lakers, this is what an NBA executive said about Chris Paul. With Anthony Davis now planning to opt out and re-sign with the Lakers, it begs the question, who will LeBron bring to the Lakers next? Some league execs point to one of his old Banana Boy buddies as the final piece to LeBron's Laker dynasty puzzle. Chris Paul would love to come back to LA. I know it would be a dream come true for Chris. I know LeBron loves and trusts him, and he would be a good fit. This quote has a lot of meaning, and I'll be honest, a lot of truth to it. LeBron James is currently 35 years old, and with him saying that he has more years left in him, now is the best time to join him, so why not recruit one of his best friends, Chris Paul, to be a perfect third option for the team? The biggest question about the Lakers is who can be their third guy, who can be a player that can play make and also create his own shot. And I'll be real with y'all, Chris Paul fits that criteria perfectly. If the Lakers want to create a super team with CP3, AD, and LeBron, they're gonna have to give up a lot of pieces, and this would have to be the trade scenario. The Lakers would have to ultimately give up Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, JaVale McGee, Avery Bradley, Quinn Cook, their 2020 first round pick, and their 2022 first round pick just for Chris Paul. The reason why the Lakers would have to give up so much is because Chris Paul has a $41 million contract for their 2021 season, and that's why all of these players will match the contract perfectly, as OKC will be getting some decent assets for their roster to build around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just imagine a starting lineup of Chris Paul, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and possibly Dwight Howard or DeMarcus Cousins. The Lakers will be a dynasty to come and probably go to the NBA Finals next year. I just want to put this out there, guys. Just imagine Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo on the same roster. That would be hilarious. I would love to see how these two build chemistry. The next team on this list is a very popular opinion, and that's Chris Paul joining Giannis on the Milwaukee Bucks. After Milwaukee lost to the Heat this year in the second round of the playoffs, Giannis had a big meeting with the head office, and everybody believes that Giannis told Milwaukee to trade for a superstar, bringing one person that can assist him on winning a championship next year. And with that, everybody is pointing their finger at Chris Paul being the person that Giannis wants on his team. What the Bucks need is a floor general, a playmaker, and a shot creator, and Chris Paul is perfect in that role, and that's why a team up of Chris Paul, Giannis, and Chris Middleton could give Giannis the edge to go to his first NBA Finals. If the Bucks can offer up Eric Bledsoe, Robin Lopez, Ersan Ilyasova, Dante DiVincenzo, George Hill, and their 2020 first round pick, I believe OKC might accept that deal, as they'll be getting a lot of assets to build around. Imagine a big four of CP3, Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. The Bucks will finally be a team that can actually go to the finals and possibly challenge the Lakers for an NBA championship. I would love to see this happen. Chris Paul to the Bucks. This is a very popular opinion, and it just makes sense. The third team on this list is Chris Paul being traded to the New York Knicks. The Knicks are always going to be a team that's going to be linked to multiple superstars because they always have enough cap space and decent trading assets to trade for one. Even though New York is one of the best cities to play for when it comes to fan base, a lot of NBA players don't usually choose to go there because they're not a winning organization. The Knicks want CP3 to change that atmosphere, to change that outlook of that franchise, and maybe bringing him in could change their franchise and make them a lot better. If the Knicks can offer up Julius Randle, Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, and their 2020 first round pick, which is the 8th pick, OKC might actually want that, as they actually have been interested in Kevin Knox as well. I don't want to see Chris Paul on the Knicks because I don't believe him going there will give him a good chance at an NBA championship, so this is not something I would actually prefer to see, but it's actually one of the likely targets because the Knicks do have the trading assets. The next team on this list is Chris Paul being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, joining Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. This year, the 76ers got eliminated from the NBA playoffs in the first round. They got swept by the Boston Celtics, and in this upcoming offseason, they're going to be making some big moves to improve their roster. So far, what they've done is fire their head coach of Brett Brown and hire Doc Rivers, and Chris Paul, remember, used to play for Doc Rivers, so this might be a reunion in the making. Chris Paul will be a great veteran leader to Ben Simmons, teaching him the ways of winning and also being a great point guard to match alongside Joel Embiid. The 76ers would definitely get better with the addition of CP3. If the Sixers can offer up Al Horford, Josh Richardson, Zaire Smith, Shake Milton, and their 2020 first round pick with their 2022 first round pick, I believe that might be enough for the OKC to take, as they'll be getting some good assets in return. The fifth trade scenario is one of my favorites, and that's Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns, joining Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. The Suns this year were absolutely amazing in the NBA bubble. They were the only team to go 8-0, be undefeated, but sadly they weren't able to make the playoffs. What the Suns have to do this offseason is try to find a trade piece that you can make and elevate Devin Booker's game. Adding Chris Paul to this roster will definitely make them a playoff team. It'll definitely bring Devin Booker some veteran leadership, and I do believe the Suns need that, as a lot of them are all young players. If the Suns can offer up Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, and 2 first-round draft picks, I believe that might be enough to land CP3. And the last trade scenario is Chris Paul being traded back to the Los Angeles Clippers. When the report came out saying that Chris Paul would love to play in LA, it didn't specify the Lakers or the Clippers. When talking about the Clippers, a big thing they lack is a playmaking point guard and also a vocal leader, and Chris Paul would fill that spot perfectly. Imagine the addition of CP3 alongside NBA superstars of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. The Clippers might be able to get out of the hump and live up to their expectation as they were given this season and go to the finals next season. If the Clippers can do a sign and trade with Montrezl Harrell, offer up Lou Will and Patrick Beverley, that might be enough for OKC to say yes, as they'll be getting future assets and also some great role players for their team. Chris Paul going back to the Clippers is not being talked about, but it's definitely something interesting if it were to happen. But overall guys, this wraps up my video for today on the potential Chris Paul trade scenarios that could happen this upcoming offseason. Ultimately, I would love to see Chris Paul on the Los Angeles Lakers. This is my primetime pick, and him joining LeBron and AD. I want CP3 to be successful and get a decent shot at an NBA championship. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!